Having dropped out of high school to have her first baby, Aretha spent a lot of her time at home listening to music and playing the piano. Although she had grown up immersed in the world of gospel music, in the mid-50s she began expanding her musical horizons. Not only was she interested in the popular R&B music she heard on the radio, but she was also introduced to the melancholy and heartfelt sound of the blues. Mahalia Jackson once said, "Anybody that sings the blues is in a deep pit, yelling for help." In Aretha's case, this certainly applied. It wasn't just the blues in general that fascinated Aretha, it was the music of one particular blues singer, Dinah Washington. There were a lot of similarities between Aretha and the famous blues singer. At her birth in Tuscaloosa, Alabama, Dinah Washington's name was Ruth Jones. Her family moved north to Chicago in the mid-1930s, and as a teenager she played piano in a Baptist church. Like Aretha, she had begun to establish a name for herself locally by the age of 15. This came about for Dinah by winning several Chicago-area talent contests. When she was 18, she changed her name to Dinah Washington and embarked on a career of awe-inspiring proportions. From 1943 to 1945, she was the featured vocalist with the Lionel Hampton Band, where she received her first taste of national fame. After leaving the Hampton Band, she embarked on her career as a solo jazz singer. In 1949, she signed a contract with Mercury Records, where she was destined to find her greatest success. Her first single release that year, Baby Get Lost, marked the beginning of a long and harmonious relationship with Mercury. From 1949 to 1958, Dinah joined the ranks of Bessie Smith, Billie Holiday, Sarah Vaughan, and Ella Fitzgerald as one of the most popular blues and jazz singers of all time. Her string of jazz hits from this era included Long John Blues, 1949, I Wanna Be Loved, 1950, Cold, Cold Heart, 1951, Wheel of Fortune, 1952, Trouble in Mind, 1952, and Make Me a Present of You, 1958. In July of 1958, along with Benny Goodman, Joe Turner, Mahalia Jackson, Thelonious Monk, and George Shearing, Dinah was one of the headliners at the prestigious Newport Jazz Festival, held annually in Newport, Rhode Island. Although she had a strong jazz following, Mercury Records wanted to market her in a way that would appeal to a more mainstream audience. To accomplish this, they teamed her with their new A&R director, Clyde Otis, who became her producer. Dinah was reluctant at first to sing the songs Clyde had chosen for her in the style he wanted her to sing them. She eventually complied, and with their first recording sessions together, she created the greatest solo commercial smashes of her illustrious career. Well, how that came about is, in early '59, Mercury asked me to add Dinah to my roster. Otis remembers. Up until then, Dinah had recorded either straight blues songs or big band numbers. In our first session together, we made What a Difference a Day Makes. That was the first time she ever sang to strings in that manner. But the point was, I said, honey, put your heart in the song. Once she realized that I wasn't trying to prostitute her talent, she just went ahead from that point on. What a Difference a Day Makes became Dinah's first solo top 10 pop hit. From there, she went on to score a string of top 40 smashes, including Unforgettable, 1959, and the poignant Clyde Otis composition This Bitter Earth, 1960. Not only did Aretha fall in love with these songs, but she was later to record all three of them. Ultimately, she would record with Clyde Otis as well. Clyde was also responsible for pairing Dinah Washington with Brooke Benton, and he produced their two top 10 pop duets of 1960, Baby, You've Got What It Takes, and A Rockin' Good Way to Mess Around and Fall in Love. In 1958, 1959, and 1960, while the teenaged Aretha was sitting at home tending to her babies, she decided that the person after whom she most wanted to fashion her life was Dinah Washington. When Dinah came to Detroit, she would perform at either the Flame Show Bar or the Frolic Show Bar. The latter was located at the intersection of John R. and Garfield Streets. Whenever she rolled into town, Dinah was treated like visiting royalty. Dinah Washington became a very important catalyst in Aretha's life. Not only was Dinah her idol, but it was through her that Aretha met several of the people who would become important figures in her adult life.